on the left, and what they're doing, they seem to run to the dry part of the field over to the left.
Kern got outside, broke some tackles on his 21st carry of the game, picks up 21. He's now got 89 in the game.
That was impressive, and that helped the judges' confidence. The offense had been struggling. First down, fumble, recovered by Brian Partlow. Wow, that could have been a turning point, but Partlow covers it. Surprised we haven't seen more of that. Gate City calls time. They trail by 5. Only 2:47 to go. And Brian Partlow, that may have been the most important play of the game. There was a mistake in there with a snap from center and exchange, but covering up the football right there. 2:47 to go. Judges lead by 5. Big play.
Big play. Kern and Partlow having trouble on the exchange. Wet field, wet football. Anything is possible, and that's what's happening. We've had some bad exchanges here in the second half.
There you see the situation. That's all that remains in the season. In 1994, the John Handley judges try to get Ron Linden a second state championship. You see him huddled on the sideline. Linden with 140 wins in his long 19-year career at Handley. There's been some talk, maybe possibly stepping down at the end of the year. That remains to be seen. They've got an important 2:47 to go here in the ball game, 12-7. He'd of course stay at the school if that were to happen, but when we spoke to him about it, he wouldn't want to have anything of it. So we've got a ball game to play.
Steady rain continues to fall on the field, and
wind has shifted a little bit.
The judges will keep putting it on the ground to run that clock out. Gate City took one timeout. They have 2 remaining.
Second down, 11 yards to go. Fourth quarter, Handley 12. Gate City 7, up the middle on the run for really no gain. Trey Kern stuffed. Timeout, Gate City. The clock is not on Gate City's side, but with the situation where the ball is, still a tense situation on both sides of the ball. 3rd and 11. What do you do here? Do you put it? Do you put it in the? Well, you know, it's a Handley team. That's kind of funny saying, do you risk putting it in the air when you're talking about the John Handley judges? But if you take a look at the field, you don't have a lot of room to work with to the left. You know, all the right side receivers will have to run through the mud to make any pattern. So they've had a combination of having some trouble, you know, getting their footing on their patterns, and just Partlow having a bad throwing day with the wind and conditions. And we don't know how that hand is affecting him.
The Partlow brothers over on the sideline talking with the coaches. Trey Kern over now. They're discussing their strategy. Brooks over there in the huddle, looking at what they want to do right now on both sides of the football. They don't want to turn the football over here, obviously. 3rd and long. You probably don't want to pass the football with these conditions. You probably want to run the ball. That way the clock keeps moving and put the ball in the hands of the defense.
They're running out of timeouts.
1 left.
And what they have to decide here, if they can pick up the first down here. You looked at the Bain Trust of Derek Dowry, the offensive coordinator, Jerry Partlow with the headset on and the short sleeves, and Coach Ron Linden earlier before they broke. I formation for Handley. Receiver right, Partlow. Flanker left, Westfall. Barking out the signals. 2:41 to go. 3rd down, 10. The pitch to Kern. He's got some room across midfield and more. Very important across the 40, down to the 36-yard line. And that might be the ball game. A lot of time left, and the clock is stopped. Gate City takes their final time out if they want to move the chains. Big play for the Handley judges and Trey Kern here in the 4th quarter. The running of Trey Kern, the blocking of the Handley judges line, opens it up for Kern on the left side. Both big runs have gone to the left. On that left side for Handley, Brian Cavill and Cliff Knupp. And of course, you got the tight end help. Now the clock is rolling. They wanted to stop the clock to reset the possession for Handley. We're winding down, near 2 minutes to go. Handley by 5. They have the ball, 1st and 10 at the Gate City 36-yard line. Busted play. Partlow sacked behind the line of scrimmage, back to the 40-yard line of Handley. Gate City, excuse me. Clock is running. 1:57, 1:55. Handley with the 5-point lead, 12-7, and the ball. You take a look at the situation.
Kern
And you'll
busted it
take
out there for over 25 yards. That puts him over 100 on the game. 23 carries, 115 yards for Trey Kern on that last carry, and he almost broke it.
And you take a look at the field and can wonder why and know why there hasn't been any scoring since the 6:09 mark of the second quarter. Handley jumped out to the 12-0 lead. Gate City came back for 7, and there's where we stand, 12-7, no scoring in the second half and well beyond. I formation, quick pitch to Kern. Kern slips near the 41-yard line. It'll bring up a same situation, really, of a third down and at least 12 to go for the Handley judges. As you see Brian Partlow glancing to the sidelines.
I don't know why they stopped the clock, but they did. They've now resumed it. The Handley coaches asking why the clock was stopped. They've never stopped it the whole game to wipe off that football. They stopped it there uncharacteristically. So far in the game, they haven't stopped it.
You might see as Michael Partlow heads to the top of the screen. There it goes, the clock. Under a minute, 44 seconds, 43. Handley could just stand there. Brian said he's going to ground it, and they may even take a delay of game. 37 seconds, 35. They're going to run the clock. Kern, hang on to the ball at the 40-yard line. Bring up a fourth down situation. Clock stops at 29 seconds. Well, I believe they reset the play. Gate City takes their final timeout. With 29 seconds to go. You'll see the situation. There's your situation.
Have your attention, please, with Anita Taylor.
John Handley are the visitors. They're going after the state championship win. They have the ball. It's a 4th and 14. What do you do here, Craig? Gate City has no timeouts left. So if they have the ball, if they were to get the ball back, Handley just asked their defense to rise up. Well, 4th and 14, obviously, just punt it away.
Obviously, but with 29 seconds to go, there's some thought to be made there. You don't want to punt it away and give the chance of a run back here or a fluke play happening. So they might just snap it and down it and let the clock run after down. But the possession change will stop the clock, so they probably will punt.
Awful tough conditions to run back on here. There's the Handley Brain Trust in the middle of the huddle there. 29 seconds to go in the state championship game in Group AA, Division III. Wow. No scoring throughout the second half. Handley has hung on. The defense has gotten its due. There goes Covert and Westfall and Partlow out.
Looks like they're going to snap the football. Run the play. That way the clock will be running. And then it'll stop when they reset the ball on the change of possession if they don't get the first down.
You're right, Craig. They elect not to punt. At least they don't line up in punt formation. Partlow underneath the center, 29 seconds to go. He's really going to go for it. He's going to roll to the right.
Roll out. He'll keep it. He wants to run some clock.
Okay, under 22 seconds. The clock stops at 20 seconds. Good play by the Handley judges. They run in the clock. Gate City has the ball. No timeouts left. 20 seconds to go. Gate City has the ball. They trail by 5, and they're going to ask the defense to win it here. 20 seconds. Handley 12. Gate City 7. 1st and 10. Gate City back to pass. The middle screen to West. And he's got some room at the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. There's 7 seconds left. Knocked out of bounds with 5 seconds left. He gets inside that 15 and a 14-yard line. On the middle screen to West Ford. Oh, my. Holy Toledo. 41-yard middle screen to West Ford. 6-foot senior. This is going to be interesting. 5 seconds to go. Timeout Handley.
What a screenplay. He broke it. Cut up back against the grain, went untouched basically for 41 yards after the middle screen, the dump-off pass. Shoemaker under heavy pressure, released it, got it to the man. He got wide outside the center, got to some good field position, grass-wise, and he got it inside the 15 with 5 seconds to go. Here's the ball game on this final play.
Be interesting to see what kind of call. ball at the 15-yard line. 5 seconds. Just one play. Do or die. This is it. The Handley judges holding hands from left to right along the sidelines. Andy Vipperman heads to the field and wants crowd noise. 5 seconds to go. Fourth quarter. Handley 12. Gate City 7. The Blue Devils have the ball at the 15-yard line. Shoemaker underneath the center. Kilgore. Back split. Back to pass. Looks up. Incomplete. 1 second left. They got another play. Incompleted pass. It was intended across the middle. And there's the situation. Wow, we said one play. The incomplete pass gives them another play.
Shoemaker threw the pass behind McClellan, tipped by a Handley defender, incomplete, 1 second left to go. They're going to have to throw for the end zone again. Second down from the 15.
The most exciting Handley judge finish in over 2-3 years. The players on the sidelines yelling for crowd noise. 1 second left. This is the ball game. Underneath center, back to pass. Handley putting on somewhat of a rush. He's got time. Hits him. Knocked out. Handley wins it. Handley wins the state championship in 1994. There it is. They had 2 plays. We thought they'd have one, and the Handley judges prevent Gate City Blue Devils from coming back for the umpteenth time in 1994.
What a finish.
Jamie Jones ecstatic with a Handley fan. The final score, the judges win it. The state championship is theirs in 1994. Group AA, Division III, Handley 12, Gate City 7. And boy, Craig Carter, the Blue Devils gave them all they could handle.
That big 41-yard pass play with less than a minute, with 29 seconds left on the clock. As the play was developing, I'm looking back at the clock seeing, is he going to run? Is he going to run out of time? As it was down inside 10 seconds, he got out of bounds with 5. 2 plays later, they didn't score. Handley wins the state championship for 1994, 12-7. Give their defense all the credit in the world in this second half.
How apropos with the judges' offense all year long, wrapping up over 5,000 yards, and just quietly or a little bit through the media, the defense not thinking they've gotten the deserved credit, and they were getting the credit in the playoffs from opposing defenses. And there they go all year long with the offense. Hugs for Brian Partlow from the fans. There's Chris Papa. There you go, All-Stater Brian Partlow, number 13, ecstatic. Not the greatest day, but what's important is that little trophy.
Well, with 57 yards, he was 5 of 17, 2 interceptions, 57 yards passing. That puts him over 3,000 yards this year passing, and it brings home a state title. What a way to end the career for the Partlow brothers, Westfall, and Trey Kern. Offensively, they didn't do it today big time, but their defense did. Viperman, Brooks, the backs, they stood up, did their job defensively, and held their ground to win the state title and bring it home to Winchester and Frederick County.
I can't remember the last time we seemed to feel so much tension on the Handley judges' sideline. Comes down to the state championship in 1994. They've got the flags and are celebrating in the end zone here in Gate City and Scott County, as they'll have a trophy presentation at midfield. All the fans are on the field, so it's hard to pick out, and they're holding up the trophy in the middle. There they are. Hugs all around for the judges and Brian Fedaro. There's the trophy. The 1994 state champion, the John Handley judges. It wasn't easy, but the defense always wanted more respect. Well, the defense won it for them in the end, and what I wanted to mention is all the offense wasn't effective, or you had a tough game. On offensive power, Michael Partlow made a difference with 2 interceptions at key points, both in or near the end zone for interceptions. He made the first at his own 5 with a 1:01 to go in the second quarter, keeping Gate City from tying it or going on the lead by the end of the half. And then Partlow in the third quarter, as Gate City was driving, they went for like a 35-yard pass attempt. They got a little greedy, and there's the trophy. There's your little presentation. You might have heard it on the public address. Zipperman up there along with Michael Partlow, and there it is. The John Handley judges are your 1994 Group AA Division III winner, 12-7 over Gate City, and a defensive struggle.
A defensive struggle that continued into the second half today. No scoring in that second half as the field conditions continued to deteriorate, but the Judges' defense held their ground, didn't allow any scoring in the second half, shut down the running attack of the Blue Devils, and held them under 10 points. 12-7, they come away as the 1994 state champs. A great defensive stand, and the team swarms around the media down on the field, the banners flying. What a team effort today for the Handley Judges.
They're going to come over to the crowd and let them enjoy it a little bit.